I like that segue. It's all good. Our last guest today on the show is multiple award-winning actor and musician Jimmy Odukoya, a.k.a. PJ. He's also a relationship coach. He's a motivational speaker. He's also a business consultant. He's a man who wears many hats under or over his dreads. Now, Jimmy, it's great to have you on the show here today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yes. Now, I learned so much about you over the past couple of days, expecting that you were going to be with us here. And the fact that you are a pastor is one that sticks out of the many things that you have delved into.
Right.
We know that you do motivation. We saw some of your videos and your skits. I don't know if you're even into comedy because they were quite funny. But that if I met you and someone said, "Oh, that's my pastor at my church," what's church 316? Is it?
It's 316 and the Cave.
316 and the Cave. Yes. I wouldn't think that was a pastor. I'm like, no, it couldn't be. But you are.
Right.
So tell us exactly how this has influenced you, your motivation, your life generally, and all.
I think especially in this part of the world, people have presuppositions or they have assumptions on how pastors should be or what they should look like. I think we like to put people in boxes.
Yeah.
And then when people don't kind of fit the narrative we've created, then there lies the problem. So when people hear pastor, they expect old, skinny, nerd, walking slow motion with a big old Bible, with holy water sprite, exactly. You know, and then when they see me, you know, work out, got beard, now dreads, you know, it's like, how do you marry the two? And it just shows that it's about what's in the heart. You know, we get so stuck on all the things that really don't matter, and what really matters is a relationship with God, your relationship with Him, and your heart. So for me, it's allowed me to be true to who I am, and you know, to be the light, and that's what it's called us to be in every area of my life.
Your background, of course, your parents are also preachers themselves.
Yes.
So, I mean, one would expect. Yeah, but you've also just gone all out, not just restricted yourself to being at the church or being the preacher that you are, but you've also done things. You have a business degree as well, and you're also a motivational speaker as well. Now, all of this come together in a very multifaceted type of way that one doesn't know exactly who you are at each time. You the entertainer, you the musician, you the comedian, and all of that. But on any given day, who do you put forward first?
I think that all these things are expressions of who I am. You know, I think they're total sum of the whole. You know, there's a saying that says, "Jack of all trades, master of none." Well, I beg to differ. I think Jack of all trades, master of all. And when I say that is, you know, I saw a quote one time that says, your gifts and talents are God's gifts to you, and then what you do with them are your gifts back to Him.
Boom.
So for me, I feel like, you know, we only have one life, and if you've been gifted with so many talents, you know, make, you know, use of everything. You know, Miles Monroe once said that the most wealthiest place in the world, bless him of blessed memory, is the graveyard, because so many people die without fulfilling their potential. And so for me, I'm like, I want to die empty. So while I'm young, you know, while I can still run around and jump from sets to pulpits to conferences, you know, to whatever that, you know, I find myself doing, let me do it now, because the time will come when my mind might want to do this, my body might not agree with it, you know. Well, the goal is to be working out till I'm like 90, but,
so
you know.
I'd assume that you work with a lot of young people.
Yes.
And young people these days are faced with so many challenges, so many pressures. I like to say pressures, whether it's cultural, whether it's from the home, or whether it's from the church. But yet they still want to also achieve their full potential.
Right.
And with all the vices that go around, how do you advise young people to be able to achieve everything that they want? I mean, pretty much like what you're doing. You are pretty much just doing everything at the same time.
Right.
I don't know if the challenge is the same as every other young person out there, but what would be your advice to them?
I think for me, first of all, I think it's to first know, I'd say people that no one knows a creation better than a creator, which is very important. Everything comes with a manual, whether by TV or car, whatever the case. There's an instruction from the creator that tells you basically everything you need to know. The first thing I tell people, you want to know why you're here, because everybody was trying to find purpose. What am I here for? What am I supposed to do? If you get connected to your creator, then he tells you exactly where you need to be. And I've come to say that purpose is not a place, but a state of being. Because if you're always connected in every season, you know where you need to be. So that's one. Two, I tell people, embrace the full individuality of who you are. because I feel like there is no other version of you out there. And stop trying to bow to peer pressure to become something else or somebody else, because that's a waste of the person that you are. No one looks like you. Just like we have different fingerprints, there's no one on the face of this earth that is like you. You were created specifically for a purpose that only you can fill, and embrace that. And third, thinking about future, to answer your question, is you don't want to make decisions today that can impact your future. A lot of times we think so much in the now, we don't think holistically. We get caught up in the things. Yes, we want to have fun, but let's not mortgage a future, for the sake of fun. Let's not do things that we can't recover from, So always thinking future and realizing that we only have one life. We don't get, it's not a game. We don't get a reset button.
Exactly.
You die and get life 2 or life 3, So you always got to think about the future. And make decisions that will better you, not just for you today, but for your future as well.
Speaking about the future, what do you have going for the future?
Wow, it depends on in what area.
Exactly. It gets that confusing with you,
right,
but then generally something is all-encompassing that we can look forward to.
Well, so, I mean, on the pastoring side, we've been growing the cave, and it's been good, and we just been blessed with a building. We're excited about that. On the acting side, there's a movie in cinema right now called The Wait. I think everyone should go see it. It's something I can speak to everyone. We have one coming out called Mamba's Diamonds on May 13th in cinemas. That's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that as well. Basically, personal life is my daughter's birthday today, so once I leave here, I'm rushing off to go.
How old is she?
She's 5 today.
She's 5. So, I have a 5-year-old as well.
So I got 2, so she's 5, and going to go play daddy today, because you have to balance work-life balance as well as everything. I have a book that I'm working on. I should have finished it, and I've set it out now, so I'm giving myself the accountability to finish my book. What is love? Okay. And talking about love, because everybody defines love differently, and so just my own spin on it and what I've learned from.
What is your spin on love exactly?
Oh, we want to dive into that.
Oh,
wow.
Let's get a preview of the book already.
Well, I mean, basically, looking at it from my Christian perspective and the worldview, I feel that love is not a feeling. And people think that love is a feeling that you feel when you feel a feeling that you've never felt before. Yeah. And that's the problem, because if you do things based on feelings, feelings come and go. So you hear things people say are falling out of love, or because if you base it on a feeling, then feelings change.
I got a question to go on that one.
Yes.
Like one of my producers would say, I have an addendum to that. He's right there. But so what do you see happening with the Bill and Melinda situation?
Ooh.
Did they fall out of love? However, they're so pleasant about this whole thing. Is it possible for couples nowadays to actually fall out of love?
Well, I really believe that love, from my perspective, you can't give what you don't have. I believe that love is God. I believe that love is a choice. I believe that love is not emotions. It takes work. Marriage is work.
Exactly.
It's intentional work.
And that's been our argument this morning, because some of us actually think that it's plenty of work that you put in individually, but one other person seems to think all you need to is pray. Now, you're a preacher as well as a married man.
Yes.
And you just was talking about love. So where do you stand on that? Do you have to put in all that work, or must you just pray about it?
Oh, no. It takes, I think, the two things. Why? Because I say, one, love is God. So if you don't have God or know God, you can't give what you don't have. Because people think, when people say love in a human perspective, is very conditional. I love you as long as you're faithful to me, as long as you fulfill my needs. So when you stop fulfilling my needs and when you stop meeting my expectations, I fall out of love with you. If you look at love from the perspective of God, who loves you unconditionally, then you know it's not about what you do. He chooses to love your perspective. So I say it's both ways, where you have to have God, but there are many people who are not religious who have successful marriages. Wow. So you got to put in the work.
Put in the work, and then you have to put God in there
Absolutely.
as well. Well, hey, we'd love to feed you, actually.
Yeah.
Very interesting
Smells
perspective
good.
that you just put in there. So why don't we just already get over to the kitchen here?